Alright, we're back here after technical difficulties. Anyways, we're gonna get that oil catcher over this, and we're gonna grab our wrench here, and we're gonna loosen off that oil plug. Like this. Jeez. There we go. Let's put thread tape on that. Who knows? And I can't get it over my hand. That's just great. Alright, there we go. Anyways, we're gonna drop the oil out of it. Pull this drain plug out here in the bottom of the oil pan. There we go. Set our plug to the side and let the oil drain out. Okay. And while that's draining out, we're going to come and I'm going to grab my oil, which is 520, and we're going to synthetic. With a synthetic filter, whatever. And with this oil here, I'm going to put in. Called Lucas Synthetic Oil Stabilizer. And basically what it is, it's a little more thick than oil. It brings up oil pressure in older engines and just helps with wear and stuff like that. Before I put the oil filter in, I'm going to add a little bit of oil to it. Gonna only add about halfway because Ford's stupid and they have their oil filter sit sideways, so try not to get too much on the floor. Anyways, our oil is just about drained out of the pan here. So we're gonna put our plug back in. And we're gonna tighten. We're gonna tighten it tighter than the last person did, because it was not very tight. Now, you don't have to put a crazy amount of force on it, but I'd rather it be a little tighter than have it come loose, because that gets expensive. Anyways, we're gonna bring that this little catch thing over here, and Ford is stupid, so their oil filter is over the front diff here. And generally most of the oil goes on the floor because it just hits the diff and splatters everywhere. So it's just a lot of fun. We're gonna grab our oil filter pliers and get a hold of it. Try and loosen it. Yeah, it's in the stupidest spot imaginable. I'm just gonna loosen it and then show you where it is. I love Ford trucks, but they're so stupid sometimes. There we go. It's loose enough I can grab it with my hand. Hopefully, there we go. And I'll show you real quick. It is up there over the axle. So grab it. And it just goes everywhere. There's like a million threads on it, Jesus. Okay. Pass it over here. There we go. Now I'm quickly realizing that some idiot that works here labeled the oil filters wrong, and the ones we put oil in it's not a 5.4 Ford oil filter, which is really pissing me off. Ugh. Yeah, the seal's not even in the same size. There's $10 down the drain because I already got oil in the fucking seal thing. That's annoying. Anyways, this is the right one. Exact same. So this one's red. So again, I'm just throwing a little bit of oil in this one. Just help the engine not run dry. But it's pretty hard to do anyway. So I'm just greasing the O-ring around it so it expands after we put it in. And I'm gonna pass it over the axle here. And you can see all the oil that I just put in there running out. And I'm spinning it on right now. Now, the way I was taught to do oil changes is if it's on a car or a truck and not on a tractor, get it as tight as you can with your arm and the gasket will expand and make it tighter. So I don't use oil filter pliers when I put them in because I've had too many people that put them in with pliers And the gasket expands, it makes them even more tight. And then at the end of the day, you gotta take a screwdriver, pound it through the filter to get it out. And it's just a whole lot of work. So tight as you can with your hand, and it's tight enough for that. I'm just gonna wipe the oil out off the drain plug around here, and we're good. Drop this thing down. And I'm gonna check that I got everything out of the way under the hoist before we lower it down. So, take our pliers, our oil filter, that wasn't the right one. Doesn't matter. Great. So for our lift, we're gonna lift it up till it's off the locks, undo the locks, and then lower it down with this one. On the floor. Okay. So I'm just gonna grab myself a funnel here, and we'll move to the top of the engine. And I'll prop my phone up right about here. Okay, maybe not right there. Alright, I might just have to hold it. This is not my day. Okay. So I'm going to add my Lucas heavy duty synthetic oil stabilizer, because it's an old engine and it just helps it. So I'm going to add about a liter in. You don't really have to measure it. Half a liter, liter and a half. Something like that. It's not an exact science. I'm gonna finish it off with our 520 synthetic oil. And we're gonna let it go in there. And that is about 5 liters. I think this engine takes like 6.5 or something, so gonna let that all drain in there. Come over here to our dipstick, pull it out, and wipe it off and all that. I swear this goes easier for me when I'm not recording it. So we're just gonna wait a minute, let all that oil get to the oil pan, and put the dipstick back in, and see where we are. And we are not even on the dipstick yet. So we're probably more than a liter short. We come over here, grab our new jug of the same oil, and I'm going to add about something like a liter. Pull this dipstick again, piece of towel, wipe it off. Put the dipstick back in. All right, now I can just see it. Just on the bottom of the dipstick there. I don't know if you can, but. So, no sense putting it back in. I'm just gonna wipe it off, throw it on top of the engine, and add a little bit more oil. Let that drain in there. And while I'm waiting for that, we're just gonna look around our engine bay and check stuff like, got coolant. I have lots of coolant. That says fill cold line, and you know it's in the reservoir, so we're good. It's a little bit over that because it's warm. Looking at our brake fluid, we got lots of brake fluid. Pulling the cap on our power steering. Taking a look in there. Doesn't look black or burnt or anything. You can see on the side of it, there's oil in it. Now, look at our battery connections. I know they're good because I changed the battery in this 2 weeks ago. And I normally check the air filter, which is just these two tabs, pull it out. But I just put a new air filter in this probably about a month ago, so it's good. You know, we'll top up the windshield washer fluid because some people would say it's stupid to put it in this video, but when you're driving along in Saskatoon or something and a load of mud comes off a bridge and hits your windshield and you got no fluid, it sucks. So it is definitely a safety issue, so I always make sure mine's right full. Now I'm gonna put my dipstick back in and see where we're at on the oil. And you can see there, right in between the two dots. So that's perfect. Now, I know from before that I didn't get that oil filter all the way full because it sits sideways. So I'm gonna go ahead and add a little bit more to get that right full in the reservoir, or in the, sorry, oil pan. And I'm gonna go over and start up the engine and let the oil run through and get all the air out of that filter, and then let it sit for a minute, check it again, and it'll be good. So, yeah, just let it run. 5 or 10 seconds is fine. Come back over here. Grab the dipstick. Give it a few seconds here. While I'm doing this, I usually just check over stuff in the engine bay, like I look on my valve covers and I make sure I don't have an oil leak or stuff like that. I'm checking where the cold air is on this truck, where it sucks air from. Making sure that's not loose because it was loose before and I had to put it back in. Coming over to this side, checking for oil leaks. I didn't see any when I was under the truck, so that means we're good. And cleaned off the stick, throw it back in. Pull it out, and we're right in between the two dots there, which is good. Now again, this is an old engine. It's a 5.4 Triton with about 350,000 kilometers on it. So I'm gonna make sure that oil's sitting right at the top. So I'm gonna add a little bit more. Because with older engine, I'd rather it be a little bit over full than halfway, because it can burn some, because it's old. And that is how to do an oil change on a truck. I don't know why I picked a 5.4 to do it on, because there's a lot of stupid stuff, but I swear I'm better at recording videos. This was a train wreck, but it'll be good enough.